Canadian kids are writing letters to children in Ukraine. Courtney McClure, The Standard, North Durham. How are Canadian kids supporting Ukrainian children? From the Sterling Rawdon Township, Kim Jewell is working with the Overseas Ministries Director Ed Dixon from Humanitarian Aid and Mission Society, Loads of Love, to show kids in Ukraine they are not alone. She has also reached out on social media, explaining her idea and how people can participate. According to Ms. Jewell, the local food land is helping spread the word about the project as well. Ms. Jewell has contacted local schools within her area, asking if any students are interested in writing letters to children living in Ukraine. Mr. Dixon and his team will be returning to Ukraine with the letters at the end of May, and will be delivering them by hand. In 2016, Ms. Jewell was a part of a team made up of herself and 12 other Canadians who went to Ukraine. During their time there, their job was to deliver letters written by Canadian kids to Ukrainian kids. "We saw how much these kids treasured these letters," said Ms. Jewell. When the war broke out in Ukraine, Ms. Jewell said it made her feel helpless, and so she felt like she needed to do something to help, somehow. She said it was not possible to travel to Ukraine herself right now. "I have 2 kids to think about," she explained. "So this writing letters was the next best thing I could come up with." Since Ms. Jewell and the overseas team at Loads of Love, LOL, has done a project like this before, she said, it seemed like they needed to do it again. One of the major benefits of writing letters to some of the children living in Ukraine is encouragement. Writing letters is one of the ways Canadian citizens can show Ukrainians they are not alone. "Canadians are awesome at caring," said Ms. Jewell. Mr. Dixon has been working with LOL since its establishment. Although he was born in Canada, he has also lived in Ukraine for just over 25 years. He has been the overseas director for Loads of Love for about 20 years. According to Mr. Dixon, back in 1995, LOL would send overseas a few containers to people living in Ukraine, whereas volunteers hand-deliver the letters now. LOL is a group made up of faithful volunteers which started as a small group. They grew after the group bought a thrift store and a warehouse in Chatham, Ontario. They have 40 volunteers based in Chatham and about 40 full-time staff members in Ukraine. The thrift store covers all of LOL's administration costs, so all donations go straight to the Ukrainian people. LOL has delivered groceries to over 30,000 families in Ukraine since the war started. They are also working to help evacuate people from the eastern part of the country. To donate to LOL, you can go online to their website at www.loadsoflove.org. Mr. Dixon was in Ukraine 2 weeks after the war started. "I was amazed how happy everyone was to see me," said Mr. Dixon. The citizens of Ukraine were also happy to know Canada was supporting, wanting to encourage, praying for, and thinking of them.
Kawartha Lakes Food Source celebrated our first anniversary of our own salsa brand, Kawartha Lakes. The proceeds from KLFS salsa are invested into the operating expenses of Kawartha Lakes Food Source, such as rent, allowing them to continue to deliver food access and food literacy programs within the city of Kawartha Lakes. Back in early 2020, KLFS put an online poll out to the community, asking people what type of KLFS food product they would be most interested in purchasing. Salsa won by a landslide, with over 70% of respondents choosing it over alternative options. Over the course of 2020, KLFS worked quietly on product ideation, recipe development, marketing assessments, and regulatory compliance. The final recipe was developed in collaboration with George Brown College's Food Innovation and Research Studio. The salsa was produced by KLFS staff and volunteers alongside the knowledgeable employees of the Ontario Agri-Food Venture Centre. To date, they have produced over 6,000 jars of salsa, which have been on local store shelves for 1 year. Original retail locations continue to include Reed's Value Mart, Farmer's Butcher Shop, Mariposa Woolen Mill, Fresh Fuel, and Burns Bulk Food. With an additional 7 locations including Bigley's Shoes and Clothing, Bob Cajun, Craftworks and Antiques at the Barn, Fowler's Corner, Living Local Marketplace and the Food Shop, Peterborough, Sobeys Fenland Falls, Foodland Coboconk, Foodland Havelock, and the Kawartha Living Store, Bethany. Salsa will also be available for sale at assorted events, such as farmers markets, so keep your eye on KLFS's social media for these pop-up purchasing opportunities. Our hope is that this social enterprise will help KLFS be financially resilient in the midst of any future economic uncertainty, said Heather Kirby, Executive Director at the Kawartha Lakes Food Source. The project will be an ongoing, self-sustaining source of revenue, which complements our regular fundraising efforts. Diversifying our streams of income is a priority for our team, as a way of mitigating risk and ensuring we can always be relied on by our member agencies in our community during times of need. We were honored to be the 2021 Social Innovation Award of Excellence winner from the Lindsay and District Chamber of Commerce. We're confident our salsa will leave a good taste in your mouth and a good feeling in your heart, concluded Ms. Kirby. For more information about KLFS Salsa or the organization, please visit our website at www.kawarthalakesfoodsource.com or call 705-324-0707. Staying as independent as possible with a healthy attitude. Home is where you lay your head. Tina Y. Gerber, special to the Standard. We all want to live our best lives, while also living and remaining at home. It is important to find the right formula for successful senior living, whether you remain at home or in a senior's apartment. My husband and I had planned for retirement living by preparing and renovating our home over the last 7 years. It is unfortunate our health concerns conflicted with this work at times. Then COVID arrived, and we have not completed all the necessary maintenance. With the help of some church members, we slowly continued to make the necessary improvements, yet it was a challenge to ask for help. Thank God for caring people. In addition, being organized is key. This will allow you to manage your lifestyle to support independent living, but remember, setbacks and challenges can arise at any time. It was never my intention to retire 2 years early with a disability, but life is full of surprises. It is a proven fact most seniors have a tendency to be isolated as we age, but I was still surprised how COVID had affected my ability to socialize with my family and friends. Whether you are a couple or if you live alone, there are several risks associated with isolation, such as depression, physical safety, and combating loneliness. With COVID and some health issues, I was not able to attend church services or visit friends. My mental health, as well as my physical vitality, was at a standstill. I know, actively engaging in social activities and integrating into the community is vital, especially as we age, but recreational classes and activities came to a screeching halt. Companionship and friendships are vital to our emotional well-being. Without them, we can begin to feel depressed and lonely. Praise God, I am finally feeling more like myself. Staying as independent as possible with a healthy attitude is linked to our emotional health as well. Independent living does require modifications and changes, not only internally but externally to your home area. It's important changes are made to prevent and protect us from health and security risks. Even if you are healthy, you may still require some adaptations. If you require home modifications for better mobility and access, companies can access your home environment to recommend and install these modifications. This will be an ongoing process and important for independent living. If you stay healthy, you will feel stronger and stay independent longer. Staying healthy is an important way to keep your independence.
The Artist Within: Why Art Matters to Me. Lauren Walker, special to the Standard. We often dream of places we'd like to go to and imagine what it's like to be there. Art is truly an escape and a source of peace in my life. For an hour or two, I can escape and create my own little world. It's like I'm peering through a keyhole and seeing one small part of a bigger world. The Port Perry Artists Association, PPAA, Spring Show is coming on June 11th and 12th to the Port Perry Scout Hall. I love looking around at the variety of styles and colors used by my fellow artists. You don't have to be a professional to appreciate art. I respond to the feeling I get when I look at a picture. Sometimes you look and feel nothing, and sometimes it conjures a warm memory. I'm simple that way. I either like it or I don't. As artists, we see beauty all around us. We even find it in odd places, and choose to reflect it on canvas. I think there's nothing wrong with seeing the loveliness in the little things. I think we could all use that in our lives. When you take a moment and take a glimpse through the keyhole, you might just see something new. You might see those little things in a whole new light. So why come to the Spring Show? There is so much talent. These artists create for the love of creating. Yet they are just like you and I, average everyday people who want to make our world a more beautiful place. Venture in and have a look around. Come take a look through the keyhole and let yourself be surprised by what you see. PPAA Spring Show is at the Scout Hall on June 11th and 12th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Happy painting!
The Standard Podcast was produced by Greenstream Studio for the Standard newspaper.